name's Emma and let's talk spooky stuff. So today is a little bit different. I'm actually doing my first ever Q&A, and thank you so much for everyone who asked me questions. I think that the majority were left on my Facebook. Pretty much all of them were on my Facebook. If you don't follow me on Facebook, you can check down in the description below for those details, and let's get started. My first question comes from Una or Honor. I know someone called Honor and they only have one O, so I hope I'm pronouncing that right. Have you ever been to a horror convention, and if not, would you ever want to go to one? I would love to go to one, but where I live, we don't have horror conventions. My dream would be to go to America and go during like Halloween season during October and get to go trick-or-treating to some crazy frat house party Halloween style, and to experience all the conventions there and, you know, carve a pumpkin, dress up, eat some Halloween candy, have a pumpkin spice latte. I'd love that. The next one is from Angie, who I actually love Angie. She comments on all of my stuff. Angie, I really appreciate your support, and I love your comments. You're the best, and I love your suggestions, so thank you. Keep them coming. She asked me if I could pick any director and writer to make a movie of my life, which duo would I pick? It's hard for me because I'm not really... Yeah, I like a few directors, but writers I'm not really too sure on, especially pairing between the two. You never really know what comes from where. Saying that, I'd probably want to have director and writer being Todd Solondz, who is my favorite director of all time, and I don't really think my life is movie worthy. I mean, I've had a lot of interesting stuff happen to me and I've done a lot of interesting things, but I can't see what the movie would be about. But I love Todd Solondz, and I think that he would bring a comedic value that's really dark and crazy and controversial out of anything, so I think that I would want him. I just think it would be interesting to watch. Next one's from Crystal. She asked if I could play any character in a horror movie, who would it be and why? I'd definitely be Rose McGowan in either Scream or like Jawbreaker. I don't think Jawbreaker really counts. Or Catherine Isabel in American Mary. I would choose Ginger Snaps, but I think American Mary is way more interesting. All of these reasons because I love kick-ass girls who are kind of interesting and dark, and it'd be fun to play kind of like a villainous character, or not even just a villain. I guess in Scream it's not that way, but it's something interesting, and I don't know, I like that. I like the whole powerful kick-ass girls. Especially I think American Mary would probably be my pick, just because it's interesting what she gets herself into, and you know, I want to cut up body parts. No, I'm kidding. I think if I'm gonna choose, it would have to be a huge contrast from my life, so American Mary, definitely. Oh, another one from Honor, and she asks, what horror actor, actress would you bring back from the dead so they could keep making movies? Obviously Vincent Price, any day. Alex asks, why do you have an interest in horror films, and what age did you become passionate about them? Alex, great question. The power of storytelling is really strong, and I love the fact that looking at a screen can make you feel these emotions, and they're real emotions, but it's all fake. It's just amazing. I really liked listening to other people's point of views in life, and as you keep doing that, it just starts getting a little bit bland. So I liked watching really controversial things, and I think that's where horror movies came in. I always liked psychic and spiritual stuff. I love religion. I loved just creepy and being scared, and I think with my love of movies, it all just comes together, and it's just me as a person. I love horror movies because I love things that are very controversial and things that are just really out there. I like the shock factor, I guess. Next question comes from Vladi. He asked if I'm gonna do the 31 Days of Horror next year, and the answer is most probably yes. I have done it every year, and if you go back on my Instagram, you can actually see I did it before I started YouTube. I love doing 31 Days of Horror, and I think everyone else does it in some form or the other. I didn't call it 31 Days of Horror last year. I just like to watch as many horror movies as I can in October, and last October was very hard. My mom was actually here from interstate, so I spent a lot of time with her, and then my sister was getting married, so it was a lot to do in a month. I mean, I got up at 4 a.m. some days and watched movies. So hopefully when I do it next October, it'll be a little bit more relaxed for me, so I can make it a little bit better for you guys. Next question comes from Dino. I hope I'm saying that right. Sorry guys, just blame it on the accent. He asked, do you have a favorite era for your favorite horror movies? Yes, and I'm wondering if you guys can guess what. It's 90s, obviously. I love 90s music, 90s fashion, the 90s icons. I just love everything about the 90s. And I think 90s is really good because it's the kind of the stage where technology became a factor in horror movies. Just before that, it wasn't a problem. You couldn't call anyone on your mobile, and just after that, they have to make excuses for why people don't have signal, why this, why that. In the 90s, it was just all these Nokias and these flip phones that you could just snap in half, and I think that's really funny. Martin asks, what's my favorite horror movie murder seen. This one's hard. I would have to say a lot from Final Destination. So the nail scene where she gets like a nail gun to the face. I liked the tanning bed scene, obviously. I like the one with the log that goes through someone's windshield. If you ever drive, tell me, do you guys change lanes if someone is in front of you that has like a huge pole? I always change lanes. No Final Destination for me. Also, I really like the Chucky murders or deaths. I have this theory with the original Child's Play. When you think something's gonna happen a certain way, something crazy will happen and someone will fall out the window. So someone will be about to stab them with a knife and then someone will fall out the window. Things like that. I think it's really cool and clever and creative. Also, I really like in Puppet Master where Leech Girl, every time she does something, that's really cool and really seductive and creepy. So I like that. Zachary asks a couple of questions. First being, how many tattoos do I have? I have 13. Dean and I counted the other night. He also asked, what's the first memory I have of a movie that scared the crap out of me? It would probably be Garbage Pail Kids. Do you guys know what that is? I have no idea to this day. It's like a TV show, I think, or maybe it was a TV movie about these kids and they were in the trash cans. They were like down an alley and some kids stormed in. I can just remember I was very young. I must have been like 5 years old and it scared the bejesus out of me. This girl was like throwing up on herself. It was just awful. And I think I googled it not too long ago and they were like collectible cards or something. I don't know, it's an American thing, I think. So some of you guys might be able to tell me. Other than that, if you count an actual horror movie, it would have to be The Leprechaun or Leprechauns, whatever that movie is with Jennifer Anderson. I just remember being in a friend's house and maybe their older sibling was watching it and we walked in and someone's fingers get cut off and there was like these oozy green stuff coming out. I don't know, it creeped me out. It's always been stuck in the back of my mind. I should really watch that again and see if I even remember any of it. He asks, what are some Aussie stereotypes that aren't true or blown out of proportion? One that actually bugs me that I can think of is throw another shrimp on the Barbie. We actually don't call them shrimp, we call them prawns. So when people say throw another shrimp on the Barbie, no Australian has ever said that. It's prawns. We always call them prawns. One thing that I find funny is that everyone thinks that we live in the outback. I don't know if you know what Australia looks like, but all of the cities are around the sides. All of the main cities are just flooded with beaches and they're beautiful, and it's not like there's dry desert that everyone thinks it is. There's so many different aspects to Australia, and if you go to Australia, make sure you travel. Make sure you go to different places. Don't just go to like Melbourne or Sydney. They're very similar. You want to go like Hobart or Darwin or Broome, something different. You don't want to just stay in the same places. You haven't got a true, authentic experience of what Australia's like. Sorry guys, that was a total rant. He also asks, what's my favorite film franchise? I'm assuming he means horror. Probably Scream, or I like Children of the Corn. And the last question he asks is, what is my favorite TV series, horror and or other? I don't really watch any horror TV series that I can think of. I guess American Horror Story. But my favorite TV show hands down is 6 Feet Under, and I hope you guys have all watched it because it's all so worth it. I actually finished watching Scream Queens today, and I want to say, if you guys have watched it and you kind of gave up, or I don't know, just couldn't stick with it all the way through, really give it another chance because the last episode is the best episode of the bunch. But I really do think 6 Feet Under, Nip Tuck, Seinfeld, really random stuff. So I hope you guys enjoyed that, something a little bit different. I'm actually off. As soon as I post this, I will be on a plane to the UK for Christmas. Dean and I are going and having a white Christmas, our first one ever. I'm very excited, can you tell? And I've actually filmed ahead and I've got a whole lot of videos, some really cool content coming out between now and mid-January. I've worked really, really hard to get this done ahead of time so you guys won't go without videos, and I'm really proud of the content, so I hope you guys really enjoy it. If you've requested me to review a video, make sure you stay tuned because there's a lot of them coming up. I wanted you guys to know I'm going away because I won't be responding as quickly to your comments, but I will eventually, and I really appreciate every single comment, so make sure you keep them coming because I love reading what you guys think, especially on my reviews. Hope you guys are having a great day, and I'll see you very soon. Stay spooky. Bye.